So we're still in the pandemic, although not as bad as, you know, how we were two years ago. But let's just talk about the impact of COVID-19, especially on education, looking back. Because you see, at that time, there was a lot happening. We're trying to figure out, so how do we, you know, do this? But quantifying the impact of the same.
Now, I think COVID-19 was the worst, created the most considered disturbance in the education sector.
Absolutely.
Globally, but around me, I mean, allow me to focus on Kenya as a country.
Right. Yeah.
Now, COVID-19 closed schools, and death was there. Personally, I lost my deputy national treasurer in COVID-19, just about a month after closure of schools.
Yeah.
Now, as you look at what happened, I mean, what COVID-19 actually brought in this country. Now, learning was literally suspended. Children went out, and they stayed out for 9 months.
That's a long time.
9 months with a child out of a learning facility. Definitely expect a different person back to school.
Yeah.
And indeed, when these children came back to school, they were not the children we sent home.
Oh, no.
They came back as young parents.
Yeah.
Yeah. One with a child back at home for the girls, and you never know the participation of the young boys in the same,
Absolutely.
or the male learners in the same.
Others
So
were said to have
literally,
started their own businesses.
yes,
you know?
some even went into business. So they were no longer learners anymore. And I want to tell you for a fact that when these learners came back after 9 months, you saw what happened.
Yeah.
Schools were burning every other day.
There's a lot of
Yes,
unrest
they could
in
not be
schools.
controlled in discipline, up to and including a learner hitting a principal on the head. And you saw what the learner used.
Yeah.
A piece of wood that had a nail on it, and right away hitting the principal on the head. So basically, the effects of COVID-19 were real. The curriculum
Was affected. Hugely affected.
and the change in the education calendar was unbelievable.
Yeah.
In fact, I want to thank CS Magoha for having very bold. Our neighbors did not even open schools. And I think right now, Uganda is not even half of what we achieved in terms of, you know, the courage we had and went back to school. I remember in one function where Professor Magoha did disclose to us of his phone call, you know, conversation with the Minister of Education in Uganda, and that is, of course, the spouse to the President of Uganda, Yoweri Museveni. And what he told us was that Uganda was pleading with Kenya, please don't open schools. We got the reason right, because they wanted us to be together in this loss.
But again, there's also a lot of concerns, especially from the parents, like how sure are we that our kids will be safe in school? Because sometimes you cannot monitor a kid to see whether they're wearing their mask all the time, they're washing their hands all the time. So again, there's a lot of concerns.
Those
from the parents as well.
Those concerns were valid. But I want to assure you, the teacher is the best security for a child, not even the parent.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
we have them in school. We are confident with our children. We can put in place proper security. And you know how teachers, you remember how teachers behaved during COVID-19. We left our work. We went into the work that should be in the health sector. We made sure that there was proper distancing.
The protocol was observed,
The hand wash, points were properly placed in schools, and the masks were always on in schools.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
our supervision is high scale. So the worries of parents of safety of their children while in school, I think I should say that is no. They are properly taken care of in schools.
Yeah. And I know and especially during that time where, of course, there was a lot of concerns from the parents as far as the learners, their safety in schools, and of course, given how the calendar as well changed, and there's a lot of pressure, right, from the learners as well. We hardly had conversations about the teachers themselves and their welfare, especially at that time, because now it is these learners are looking up to you for hope,
Right.
for encouragement that in as much as we are in the midst of the pandemic,
Correct.
it's still going to be okay. You will still be able to focus on your studies and,
Right.
and come out, a much better student. So then the question is the impact of COVID, especially on the teacher.
Yeah.
Forget the learning, aspect. Forget, delivering quality education to the learners. Just the teacher themselves and their welfare. What would you say that did for the teachers?
Now, I think the teachers really got demoralized to an extent. And, the creation of, the interventions and basically when it came to virtual teaching, now this could not be done by all teachers.
Yeah.
And that is where we actually learned that much as we teach the same learners, much as we have the same teachers, learning can be very different in different institutions based on circumstances that are there.
Okay.
For example, some schools introduced,
Digital
virtual learning,
yeah.
e-learning, and others could not at all. So, that disparity in the coverage of the syllabus was very real. A teacher A can do it, teacher B cannot do it. School A can do it, school B cannot do it. So those are the disparities out there. And it really affected coverage of the syllabus that we expect to be, so balanced in every other school
100%.
in this country.
And we're still recovering from the same, we're still picking up from the same.
Yeah, we are picking up. We are picking up,
yeah.
and I can tell you for free that we've done very well. The teaching fraternity has done very well. The sector has done very well, so that amid all these challenges, we are able to resume the normal calendar next year.
Next year,
Yes.
yeah.